Alrighty, g'day guys, welcome to some patch notes. So I've got a stack up of two patches. The most recent one was released I think 2 days ago. No, it was actually on beta 2 days ago. It was released, at least this morning for me. So yeah, we'll hook into these. So this is the older one and we'll scroll up to the newer one in a minute. So Frostwolf can only send it at level 9. I'm actually a little bit sad about this, to be honest. I think it's too easy to just donkey overbuild 7 without Frostwolf, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Little HP increase, a little less income, and you can send a little more often. I mean, Frostwolf is still good in all the spots it's good, it's just not allowed on 7 anymore. That's the big one. Then the mutant send, the aura range, the slow aura range, and strength is increased, which is cool, but I'm still really not sold on this unit. I think it's maybe has extremely niche uses, but not sold at all. Alright, Dwarf King attacks a little bit slower, which is good. Dwarf King very strong. Small nerf on Dwarf King, I like. Bronzebeard, Odin's Blessing, so the ability does a little more lightning. I'm happy with that. The unupgraded one had too much of the power. The upgrade didn't have enough of the power. It's now been shifted slightly, so the upgrade has a bit more power. Unupgraded has a little less power. I think that's how it should be. Still, like, I mean, there's a fairly minor changes, so it's not super tangible yet, at least for me. But, you know, right direction, so I'm happy about that. Knight gets a small HP increase. I mean, that's nice, but doesn't fix what makes Knight bad. What makes Knight bad is like 200 gold. 200 gold and bad on 4 and 5 is what makes Knight bad. But anyway, Cavalier, counterattack. Every 6th attack, Cavalier counterattacks its enemy with 1.8 times damage, 7.5% lifesteal, 10% cleave. I mean, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I assume that's in addition to its hardened armor ability that it already has. I don't think it'll make it good on 7. Like, I don't think you'll suddenly see the comeback of 3 Cavaliers on 7. That just seems unlikely, given that, like, Whelp exists and Spirit exists. But, you know, it should make it a little more usable for, like, 12 and 14. So, you know, it's a good direction. Be interesting. I haven't actually tried it yet, so it'll be interesting to see. Alright. Krogoth gets a bit more attack speed from its ability. So stacking attack speed, which is good because its ability stacks on attack. So you give it more attack speed, it stacks up faster. That's actually potentially quite strong. Although I hesitate to ever call Krogoth quite strong. But Brogoth is a sick lad, so you know, we appreciate him regardless. Moonguard. This one's really interesting to me, at least. So cooldown from 20 to 6. You have 14 seconds off the cooldown, but it hits 2 less targets. That's a big buff for Moonguard. I'm interested in this unit. Level 5 still a problem, but I'm quite interested in this unit now. Because before, the issue with Moonguard was like, it wasn't even good on 1, 2, and 3. You'd leak to Warriors. You're like not that good on 2, especially versus Spirits. And then you still need a lot of the time, like, it's not bad on 3, to be fair, but you still need 2-0 unless you're mixing it with like another unit that's good on 3. So you're starting 1-0 to then like not actually be that good for the first 3 levels. Feels Sea Giant, man. And we all know that like no one fucking wants to play Sea Giant early anymore because the early sends got buffed and Sea Giant didn't. So Sea Giant feels like shit to play. At the start of the game. Still a good unit, obviously, because Hydra's good. But yeah, this should make Moonguard a lot more interesting. So I'll be keen to try Moonguard out. I'm excited about that. Scrolling up. This is the released, yeah, the 7th. No, the 17th, rather, of this month. So, and Americans do the date backwards. Alright, Frostwolf actually has a hotkey. That is very nice. Minotaur and Bigfoot. So, you get more damage when it hits more units, and you have 50% damage to flying units. Same deal for Bigfoot, except the spell damage is increased by 1 instead of 0.5. So, you know, it's cool. And also regens mana a little bit faster. So I'm quite happy about that. So we're saying Bigfoot also stuns flying units. Don't know if Minotaur slows them, I like assume it does. But Bigfoot does stun the flying units, which I think is pretty cool. So it is definitely a buff. Doesn't make them good. Realistically, I don't think it's enough. I think they're just like expensive and clunky, but you know, at least it's a buff, it's in the right direction. Right, next up. So Cavalier, their counterattack ability procs a little more often. So Cleave does 100% to flying units. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, when he says bug fix, I'm pretty sure it's like it was meant to do 50 and it never did 50, but it's not actually good on like 5 and 13, so we're just going to leave it at 100. I'm pretty sure that's the go there. Cleave no longer has a chance to trigger on attack trigger. I honestly don't know what that means. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Okay, maybe Cap will jump in and explain that. I'm sure there's a 20-word explanation for me who is not, coding savvy at all. Just what that actually means, because I genuinely don't know. Right, Flamebeard has a little more HP, has 90 HP. That's kind of a big deal considering it has natural regen. I mean, it doesn't carry over to the upgrade as far as I know, so it just makes the small one better. Fire Overlord 7? I mean, Fire Overlord, like, yes, it's good 7, and even after, like, the bevy of nerfs and all that, it was, like, still really good on 7. It's just awkward to play Fire Overlord or to play Flamebeard, because until you actually upgrade it, it's pretty bad every level. This change is going to help, but it's not going to actually change the fact that, like, this unit for 250 gold is relatively weak until you upgrade it. And then the upgrade is really bad on 8, so if you're not mixing with good units 8, enjoy being like 1400 value and potentially still leaking 8. And then it's not that good on 10 either, so it's still difficult to use, but if you get the right sort of setup for it, I guess you'll be more excited about using it than you would otherwise be. Maybe there's some setup you can do with like landmines, but maybe 5 is too hard. I don't know. Anyway, 90 HP. 90 HP is a lot on a unit with the regen ability, so this is actually a much bigger buff than it looks, because that 90 HP will translate into more than 90 HP, because during that whole time it has 90 HP or less, it will be regenning, so it's probably more like somewhere between 100 and 120 HP just on your lane, which is, that's a lot. It's like 3 hits from a Blood Orc. Anyway, Fire Overlord spawns all 6 lava tiles when upgraded. This is really nice quality of life. It means you don't have to sit with fucking Flamebeard for like 7 rounds in the mid game to get all the lava tiles. Really, really nice quality of life buff, so I appreciate that. And yeah, it does 100% damage to flying units with its AoE, but I'm pretty sure it's just being left at 100% because you know what? It's really fucking good 13 and it's pretty good 21. And it's got some niche uses on other levels, but honestly its best levels are like 7, 13, and 21. So I don't think it's too bad to leave them with those strengths. Alright, this one looks really small, but it's huge. Captain and Admiral get the range increased, or range doubled from 90 to 180. Basically, this means they will reliably sit behind melee units. What do I think of this change? I mean, it is a ridiculously huge buff. Because, you know how I say, like, helicopter is ridiculous? And it is, right? Helicopter is, but at least it's conditional where it only hits range units. It only affects range units. Captain affects everything. And if it's reliably surviving for like 50% of the fight on your lane, I want to say Admiral's 12% damage buff off the top of my head. So, and Captain is 7, I want to say. So 20%, like 19, but 20% damage for your whole lane for half the fight. I mean, that seems pretty nuts, to be honest. I mean, I like it overall. I like the change overall in the sense that it's like it feels kind of bad when your aura runs in front and dies. So I think it's good direction. I'm concerned that it might be too strong. Yeah, I'm definitely concerned that it might be too strong. But I suppose if it is, you can just kick like 1% off the aura or something like that, and this rebalances it. I think this will make the units function as... It's like you're trying to sell a fantasy as the developer in the sense, right? It's like when you think about Captain on your lane, it's like, oh, when you've never played the game before, you've just read the unit, it's like, yeah, sick, I'm going to build this, I'm going to build the upgrade, and I'm going to get like stack damage buff on my whole lane, and it's going to be sick. And then you watch them run in front and die, and it's like, what the fuck? So this should like be able to sell that fantasy a lot better. And then it's just a question of balance. So we'll give it a little bit of time to see how it is. Krogoth, didn't we have this last time? 1 to 1.5 attack speed. Okay, so more attack speed on attack. Cool. Same story as the previous patch, but just better. Wolverine, finishing blows at the crit proc chance per hit decreased by 0.05%. So like, I mean, it's just playing with the RNG slightly. Wolverine is still going to be good when it's good and bad when it's bad. This is like... Yeah, I mean, this nerf is essentially meaningless because the unit is RNG anyway. You'll need like such a massive sample size to actually start feeling that. I know it like scales the crits, so that 0.5%, 0.05% scales to like 0.3. Does it scale that many times? I don't know. But still, you'll need like such a massive number of attacks for this to actually like start to feel like it makes a meaningful difference, that I think realistically this change doesn't actually do anything. Good when it's good, bad when it's bad, so I'm fine with that. Russell with no ability icon, sure, whatever. Pandaren, Frostnova area increased. Cool. Doesn't make Panda good. This helps. Panda not casting is really annoying for sure, so that helps. I would like to see Panda with just like a little bit better stats, honestly. Give it like a little more HP. I think would be sweet. Because the unit is like close to good. It's just not quite there. I don't know what else to say. It's just the increments are really awkward. Feels pretty squishy. It's like good on 5. But it's like it dies too fast on 8, even though with normal attack medium armor it feels like it should be good on 8. I don't know. I would be down to see Pandaren with like a bit of HP. I think Moa said it really well actually. This unit feels like good to play when you have a Parasite on it. So maybe it just like gets half a Parasite or something like that in terms of stat buff, and then maybe it feels good to play. I don't know. Yeah, but that'll about wrap it up. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. Cheers very much for watching. Thank you very much to my patrons. Like, subscribe, all of that, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.